We have an amazing episode for you today, but first I want to tell you about Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast. Whether it's recording new podcast episodes, uploading existing episodes, editing, or more, Anchor gives you everything you need in one place to create your podcast from your computer or your phone and make it sound amazing. And the best part, it's free. Yes, Anchor is completely free. Anchor makes it easy to make money with a podcast without a minimum listenership, and will even distribute your podcast so it can be heard anywhere from Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and more. The podcast process has been so easy because of Anchor, and I couldn't have asked for a better experience right off the bat. I'm recommending Anchor to all of my listeners who are wanting to start a podcast. Be sure to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started building your own podcast today. My name is Kristen Kubik, and you're listening to As Told Unfiltered, the podcast that dives deep into what it's really like running a business. The raw, the real, and the completely unfiltered. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the 12 Days of Podmas. If you're new here, welcome to the podcast. I'm your hostess with the mostest Red Bull in the state of Maryland, probably right now, Kristen Kubik. Each day, I'm giving you nuggets of golden information about entrepreneurship, mindset, and all-around business. Today's topic is myths of running a stay-at-home business. I love this topic because we've all heard them. They make us laugh. They make us frustrated. They make us roll our eyes. And sometimes they even fuel us to do better at what we do, just to prove that point, whatever that point means to you. So I'm not wasting any time today. We're just diving in. Myth number 1, you play on Facebook all day, or Instagram, or social media in general. This is totally number 1 because it's my absolute favorite. I remember one of my roommates actually asking if that's all I did one day. Just play on Facebook. I remember laughing so hard because it sometimes legitimately just looks like that. If someone just walks into my office and sees me scheduling posts or, making graphics or something like that. But here's the truth. You're not playing on social media all day if you're using it to actually grow your business and actively make you money. And I'm not talking about mindlessly scrolling through your feed because that is just playing on Facebook. And you all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about writing or scheduling your content. I'm talking about posting, engaging, nurturing your audience, doing lives and trainings about relevant content. I'm talking about those income-producing activities. So the next time someone says something about how you just play on Facebook all day, you can tell them, yeah, it does seem like I play. It's definitely making me money though. Myth number 2, running a business is easier than working a regular job. I actually asked all of you on Facebook and Instagram, and this was the most popular answer. It's crazy to me how many people think running your own business is easier than a normal 9-to-5. Wild, I tell you. Here's the thing. Normal people will never understand us as business owners, and that's okay. We can't make them understand. We, entrepreneurs, are legitimately wired differently. Studies done by Harvard Business Review even said so it must be true, right? That's what we're going with anyway. But in all seriousness, multiple studies were done by Harvard Business Review showing that entrepreneur brains were in fact wired to think and process differently than the normal brain, which really explains so much that I can just stop blaming on astrology, although I'm probably still going to. I'm going to link in the show notes the main article so you can read it for yourself because it's actually pretty cool. We know it's hard. We know the hours are so much longer than a 9-to-5. We know what it takes. The long nights, the early mornings, the constant planning, the big dreams, the wants, the desires, the needs, the dedication and discipline to do whatever it takes to get there. And that's something nobody else has. We're a different breed, and that's probably the most fun thing about doing what we do. Myth number 3, you have all the free time in the world. Again, this is another one chosen by you, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Here's why. When I started working from home, everyone treated it as, you're home? Oh my gosh, can you do this and this and this and this and this? Can you answer your phone? Can you text me back? Can we do lunch? Can we do this and that and these and those? But here's why people thought this. I didn't set boundaries. Yep, bet you didn't see that one coming. People think that you have all the free time in the world when you work from home because you aren't clear on your boundaries. You don't treat it like an actual work day. You aren't creating that work-home balance for yourself. And that's something that nobody else can even be aware of unless you're telling them, but most of all, enforcing it. When I actually started setting my work hours and my work days, it made such a huge difference. It made it easier for me to say no. It was easier for me to explain why. And the calls stopped. The questions stopped. And the interruptions, they stopped. Enforcing those boundaries even helped my husband start enforcing those boundaries. A simple, she works during the day, but she takes off on Wednesdays, is such a smooth answer for him now. And the best part, if I want to rearrange my schedule, I can. If I want to bend my boundaries for a second and create a little free time, then I'm allowed to do that. But people don't expect it from me. People don't ask me to do it, and they don't get mad if I say I can't do something. It all comes down to boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. And that's on you to train other people on your operations. Myth number 4. You'll be more motivated to get work done from home. First of all, I'm a huge non-believer in motivation. I do not think it exists. I absolutely think it's a bullshit thing you tell yourself to make you feel better when you fall off the wagon, because what you lack is discipline, not motivation. And boy, are so many people learning this right now, especially since COVID has created teleworking. And honestly, I love it. I love that more people are experiencing this, even though the circumstances are awful, don't get me wrong. I love that people are experiencing the need for dedication, the need for discipline, because the motivation isn't going to help you when you have a Zoom meeting with your boss. It's hard to work from home, simple as that. You get so damn sidetracked by all of the housework, the dogs, the kids, and whatever else is around you that makes it borderline impossible to get anything done. And anyone who says you're more motivated to work from home has never had to do so. This morning, I went to get coffee before sitting down to write this episode, and I saw an ant, which led me to bleach the counters, which led me to do the dishes, which led me to throw dish towels in the laundry, which led me to empty the dryer. Do you see how one simple thing led me completely away from sitting down to do what I intended to do? It has nothing to do with motivation. It has to do with discipline and not succumbing to squirrel syndrome. When you create more discipline for yourself, you get more work done. And a lot of that is done by setting boundaries. Not necessarily military-style schedules, but simple boundaries that remind you to focus on your to-dos for that specific end goal. And there you have it, short and sweet, some of my favorite myths as told unfiltered by you guys. That's great. Check out today's show notes on the blog, kristenkubick.com/as-told-unfiltered. And thank you for listening to another episode of As Told Unfiltered. See you tomorrow for another episode of the 12 Days of Podmas. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I just wanted to let you know that all of the listeners for As Told Unfiltered get a special offer, especially if you listen to the end because you're amazing. $100 off my signature digital course, Automation Queen to Sales Machine, that's going to help you streamline and automate your business so that you can spend less time making more sales. Use code unfiltered. Go to kristenkubick.com/astoldunfiltered for more information. See ya.